Yo, hey, this shit easy, nigga. Hey, all I'm talking about, nigga, I'm still out here trying to get it.
Contender Regime Boxing, checking back in with y'all, man. What's good? Man, we made it through another year. Still a couple more days by the time this video get uploaded. It's a couple more days left in 2023, but for the most part, if you're watching this video, you made it all the way to the end of 2023. That's a blessing in and of itself, man. Congratulations. Not just us being boxing fans, but, you know, as people, you feel me? As an individual, to be able to survive yet another crazy year where anything can happen, you feel me? Where, you know, you got to expect the unexpected, you know, expect the impossible, the unthinkable. And yet you made it here. So, you know, congratulations to you. Much blessings. I hope 2024 is even more abundant and amazing for you. I hope your 2024 is the best year you ever had in your life. You make the most money you ever had. You achieve the best health you ever had in your life. You know what I'm saying? Everything that you ever wanted to achieve in your life, you do that in 2024. That's what I'm wishing on anybody watching this video. You dig what I'm saying? But with all that being said, man, 2023 Fighter of the Year. Now, of course, there's other awards: Trainer of the Year, Fight of the Year, Knockout of the Year. You know, there's so many different awards, but in this particular video, I want to discuss the Fighter of the Year for 2023. That's always the most important award in boxing, right? As far as like end of the year awards, end of the year like recognition and stuff like that, guys want to be fighter of the year, and trainers want to be trainer of the year. That's like, you know, right there with each other. You feel what I'm saying? I think, as you can see on the thumbnail, I believe fighter of the year is gonna come down to 3 guys, and this is for me. I know this shit is subjective. I don't think you wrong, or you know, I don't think nobody's wrong if you're thinking along the lines of these 3 guys that I have on the thumbnail and then other guys. We have, you know, honorable mentions. You know, there's guys who had some great years. Terence Crawford. Terence Crawford. Let's talk about him first, because I think Terence Crawford had the most impactful year, though he only fought 1 time. I think Terence Crawford had the most impactful year with how he beat, not only just who he beat, but how he beat Earl the True Spence Jr. Then you factor in who Earl the True Spence Jr. was and is. You know, he was unified champion, had taken all 3 of his belts from each individual champion. This guy was a dominant force at 147. Incredible resume at 147. One of the best runs in the history of the division when you just talk about his achievements in becoming unified with 3 titles, who he beat, how he did it, and how the man like literally just went after tough task after tough task after tough task. Then you come back, you have a accident, a life-threatening accident, you come back and then you win another title. Like, that's some unbelievable shit that Earl Spence did. And he had a great skill set and a very strong fighter, very dominant fighter. And for Terence Crawford to dismantle a fighter like that, to become undisputed, not for the first time, but for the second time, making history, being the only fighter in the 4-belt era to be undisputed in 2 different weight classes. History. Incredible, in dominant and spectacular fashion. Only 1 fight, but I don't know if y'all ever seen The Wood. You know what I'm saying? Where they all made a bet. I think it was like prom or something. They all made a bet. They was like, shit, you know, let's see who can get the most numbers. You feel what I'm saying? And shit, you know, the other 2 guys, Roland and Slim, they got hella numbers. They got like, you know what I'm saying, like 5, 6, 7, 8 numbers and shit. Niggas got hella numbers. Mike, he only got 1 number. But that one number that he got from Alicia was highly coveted. You feel what I'm saying? Everybody wanted her. And they told him, shit, fuck all the numbers we got. Mike, you won. This number right here worth by 10 numbers. You feel what I'm saying? That's how it is for Terence Crawford. That one fight, that one victory, that one performance, I wouldn't argue with anybody if you have him as fighter of the year, trumping everybody based off of that one performance when you consider everything that comes with that. You dig what I'm saying? The lead up to that fight. All of the rivalry between Errol Spence and Terence Crawford. So he's definitely in my top 3. Naoya Inoue became undisputed in 2 different weight classes in less than 2 years. Almost a year. I don't think it was quite 1 calendar year, but it was less than 2 years he became undisputed in 2 weight classes. But he became unified in a new weight class this year. Then turned right back around and became undisputed in his 2nd weight class, becoming the 2nd fighter in the 4-belt era to be undisputed in 2 weight classes. And in his first fight at 122, he beat Stephen Fulton, who myself had on the pound-for-pound list, who a lot of guys had on the pound-for-pound list, a very skilled fighter. He went in and dominated him, made it look like Stephen Fulton didn't belong in a ring with him. Then you fight Tamales, and you dominate him, becoming undisputed. Incredible performances on a big stage. And Stephen Fulton, that win right there, you got to give him a lot of credit for that. Now, Tamales, you know what I'm saying? I hope I'm saying the brother name right. You know, the knock against Naoya Inoue is that outside of the Stephen Fulton win, and then the Donaire win, you know, Donaire being, 40 years old, we're not going to take away from him. You dig what I'm saying? But we have to speak on these things. You know, that's part of his resume, big win. But outside of that, Stephen Fulton was like the only, you know, name-known guy that you can consider a possible threat versus Inoue that he came up against, and Inoue dominated him. So you got to give him full credit for that, and you can't slight him for his resume. But it's a knock on him just looking from the perspective of other people. They would look at him and say, well, you've been through all these small weight classes where it's like 1, 2, 3 pounds at the most separating these weight classes. And, you know, Inoue could probably fight at 135 easy if we keeping it 100. Who knows? However, that's a knock on him. I'm not going to knock him for it, which is why I got him in the top 3 running for Fighter of the Year. Moving along. It's really about what you like. Like I said, Terence Crawford, if you say he Fighter of the Year, I'm not going to be mad at you. If you say Inoue Fighter of the Year, I'm not going to be mad at you. Devin the Dream Haney. Oh, I know y'all seen this coming. Defended the undisputed crown versus Vasyl Lomachenko, which that might get Fight of the Year. Lomachenko versus Devin Haney. It wasn't the most high-profile fight. It was one of the most high-profile fights, but it was probably the most competitive fight and the hardest fight to score for a lot of people. I had that fight scored 7-5, 8-4 for Devin Haney. A lot of people thought Lomachenko won that fight. All 3 judges scored the fight for Devin Haney. There you have it. That was a great and competitive fight between 2 pound-for-pound caliber guys. That was Devin Haney's 2nd time defending the undisputed title. Nobody's fucking defending undisputed. People get undisputed, drop the belts, and dip off. You feel what I'm saying? Sometimes you never hear from them again. Sometimes they go on in other divisions to do greater things. Sometimes they're Terence Crawford and Naoya Inoue and they go get undisputed in another weight class. Or if we're talking about the 3-belt era, if you Evander Holyfield and you go become undisputed at cruiserweight and then you do the same thing at heavyweight. But we're not talking about that. Some guys do that. It's rare. But some guys like Devin Haney not only becomes undisputed in a weight class, but reigns and defends those titles when you're literally the only guy in the weight division that can call yourself a champion and you defend those titles in that weight class. He became undisputed versus Kambosos. In a rematch, defended that undisputed crown versus Kambosos. Then you defend versus pound for pound talent Lomachenko. And then what he do? In the same year, he moves up to a second weight class. Fights arguably the best fighter in the division in Regis Prograis. Some may say it was what's my man name? Josh Taylor, who won a very close decision, a very competitive fight versus Regis Prograis. A lot of people thought Regis won that fight. A lot of people thought it was a draw, but Taylor got the win. You could have said that it was Teofimo Lopez who actually defeated Josh Taylor this year. You know, in a great performance. Let's not make no mistake about it. In a phenomenal performance, Lopez put over Josh Taylor. Or you could have said it was Regis Prograis, who was having a great year himself, became a 2-time world champion versus Zepeda. You know, didn't look that good versus Zarilla. But, you know, everybody know that nobody was really standing in line trying to fight Regis Prograis. So Devin Haney moves up to a new weight class in his very first fight. He goes out there, not only beats Regis Prograis in front of his hometown crowd, 16,000 plus people, but he beats him in dominant fashion. Showed improvement and progression in his skill, in his ability. Dropped Regis Prograis. Yeah, dropped him. Showed a level of power, dominance, and poise that put the entire boxing world, especially in and around his weight class, on notice. You got everybody talking about his weight. Oh my God, at first Devin Haney was the pillow-fisted. You know, oh my God, he can't punch. He can't punch his way out of a wet paper bag. After that performance, motherfuckers put respect on Devin Haney's name. That speaks to the pedigree of Devin Haney and what he showed in the ring that night. A lot of people who didn't believe, now they fucking believe. Same thing with Terence Crawford. A lot of motherfuckers that didn't know it was that real, now you fucking know. That's what great performances do. Especially when you're fighting top competition. Because people can say you're this or you're that, but if you never put this fighter in front of another great fighter or another good fighter or another guy who's a legitimate threat with a post, you're never gonna really know what the fuck they can do. And that's what Devin Haney showed. All three of these guys can easily be fighter of the year. But I'm going to keep it 100 with y'all, man. For my liking, I'm going to have to say it comes down to two guys, and that's Terence Crawford and Devin Haney. Like I said, that one performance that Terence Crawford had can trump all these guys. Devin Haney winning championships in 2 different divisions in the same year. In 2023, Devin Haney won a championship fight for Undisputed at 135, and he won a championship fight for at 140 versus Regis Prograis in the same year. Now, I'm going to call it 1A, 1B. Hey, man, look, y'all can choose in the comments, tell me who your fighter of the year is for 2023. I'm going to call it 1A, 1B. You can say Devin Haney fighter of the year, 1A, and Terence Crawford 1B. You could say Terence Crawford 1A, Devin Haney 1B. You know, I love the fact that Devin Haney won 2 championship fights in 2 different divisions this year versus 2 very good opponents. And Terence Crawford dethroned Earl the True Spence Jr., becoming undisputed in 2 different weight classes. Y'all let me know what y'all think down in the comments, man. Who is your fighter of the year and why? Contender Regime Boxing. I'll holler at y'all boys, man.